Hello people, welcome to my channel. I am here to talk about one thing. K, K, K. But not the far-right terrorist group. The kutipunan, an Filipino nationalist group who wanted to get independence from Spain, which they failed in our own timeline because of, well, yeah, American intervention. Yeah, Uncle Sam said no, so no. Simple. But I wanted to uh, see what if they have actually succeeded. What if, in the wake of the Spanish American War, they succeeded with their independent Philippines? How could that alter the history of Philippines? How could that alter the history of, America or the whole Asian theater in everywhere? So yeah, let's just dive into it. So yeah, the Spanish colony, the Cubans, the Cubans having wanting independence, you know the deal. The ship sinking and the war, of course, war. The Spanish-American War. So how could we make them that they win? Simple. More support from Filipinos. We would have them that before even the war started, before even the war started, in places like um, Manila, Manila, and the southern island would be some resistance against the Spanish control over there, which would just give them a stronghold even before the war. When the war began, they would they would secure a peace with not a peace. They deal with Americans. So that yeah, like we'll give you the right the doctor here. You can just come in our country. Uh, use your capitalism here. We would be independent. We can have a military base over here, some islands, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, that would. But you will let us have our own like country. Is it realistic? Yes and no, probably not. But yeah, we will just go through with it. So yeah, Americans would just accept, and yeah, Maine. It was the name of the ship that was exploded. So yeah, the Spanish are kicked, of course. The Spanish are kicked. The Cuba is liberated and pocketed, and Philippines is liberated and taken advantage of by Americans. So how would this new Philippine go? Would it be better than what Americans and Yankees did? No, absolutely not. America did a lot of bad things to the Filipinos, but 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 that was like, how should I say it? It was at least stable. Yes, there was a war. Yes, a lot of people were killed. But the KKK would not be strong enough to control all these parts. Realistically speaking, it would just be again either Spain would come back or America would just grab it, would just grab it, if not any other superpower. So yeah, it's really not like they could have. You know, Philippines is really how should I say it? It's really diverse. So yeah, it's really hard to control it, especially KKK being just getting independence. Still. So there would be a lot of revolutions, a lot of protests, a lot of rebellions against KKK, which I don't think they can pull it off. But we will go through it. If what if they can? Because if they cannot, I would just say, oh yeah, here it would be a new country. 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 All of them would be under influence of heavy influence of either Chinese or Americans or Japanese. Japanese until the Japanese are defeated, then it would just be Americans, and then maybe some of them align themselves with Chinese or Soviets or yeah. They really want me to do this? I don't think so. So yeah, let's say that KKK can pull it off. Of course, with support of Americans. Say Americans would come, support them, and get what they want. Probably military bases here and some islands, which and a lot of influence, of course. Who does not want influence? Just a new Cuba. How Cuba was exactly like that, just in Philippines. Actually, no, Philippines would be a lot more independent. But so yeah, they would just build up more their army, their everything because they have to keep the country together. Yeah. So yeah, how would this exactly go? Probably, probably a democracy, probably a republic. Until, of course, World War One happened, which is not important to them. America would come, take like Japan would come, take their island, take the German island. Germans would fail. It's really not that important for the Filipinos. But what is important is here. Yeah, World War Two. Japan would invade China, and Philippines would feel threatened by that, so they would build up their army. US would engage more with Philippines, so yeah, more really not that different. Until but then you will understand it. Now most of US fleet is not in Philippines because Philippines is not their land. They are mostly in Hawaii and the little islands they have here, which would do Japan would force more of their air attacks on those parts, and a lot there too. So yeah, the Japanese would just come, grab, and take a lot more, and damage a lot more to the American Navy, which would, in the long run, just make, like for example, here would fail too. Australia would not be invaded because, yeah, Japanese could not realistically invade Australia. But yeah, that mean that, for example, Japan would be saved and Japan would win? Absolutely, absolutely not. America is just too massive to fail. America would again rise up, but the more important thing is Philippines. If the Filipinos could, and I would say they really, really, they very well could, because of the having a national unity and independence before the Japanese arrive. They could be like Yugoslavs, and actually Vietnamese. They would have more influence and they would rose up partisan war and guerrilla warfare, which would drive Japan out of a lot of these parts. When the Americans invade, Hiroshima and Nagasaki go boom, and of course Soviets invade. Yeah, Philippines uh, would be the new Yugoslavia for the West. It has liberated itself. So yeah, Philippines would liberate itself, and so yeah, more stability would have. It would have more stability than their new regime would have, and it would have more, legitimacy, just like Yugoslavia, a little bit like Yugoslavia. But then we would go to Cold War era, which I do not know. Search Cold War Asia East. Yeah, sorry for the interaction. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Philippines would still side with the Americans, but probably less, you know, because Philippines liberated itself, and you know, is not the best buddies with Japan now, but still they would align themselves with the United States. Philippines would be more stable here. Why? Because they have a more militaristic government. They are a republic. They have democracy, but they have a lot more militarism. So that really doesn't did not change a lot. Just you know, Philippines would be there for to counter you know Korea and you know uh, Vietnam faster. But we would go to end of the Cold War, fall of Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc. So yeah, really nothing has changed that much in this timeline and our own timeline. But the only thing is that Philippines is more reliant, more stable. So the threat of ISIS and terrorist groups is a lot less visible in this country. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching and have a really good day.